Hello and welcome to this week's Inspired to Resign, our weekly wisdom. I am Tammy Jaffe, your host, helping you go from employees to entrepreneurs without all the headaches. And this week we have a very special guest with us, Scarlett DeBeese. And she is an amazing, amazing woman who I am excited to bring to you today because she's going to give you some tips and tricks and things about what you wear or what you should wear, what you shouldn't wear. We're going to talk about all of it to help you gain more confidence as you step out and start your business, as you start growing your business, and how you stand out in this crazy world. Scarlett DeBeese is a personal wardrobe stylist who shows women entrepreneurs what clothes to wear so they'll make more money and attract better clients. How many of you here want to make more money, attract more clients? Give me some emojis. Tell me how you're feeling about that in the comments below. Scarlett guides her clients to create their own unique style, feel fearless and confident to be seen and heard, and excited to put themselves out to the world in a way that is game changing. I know you guys want to be game changers in what you do, so you are in the right place. Scarlett, tell us a little bit about how you got started in doing this.
Hi, Tammy. Thank you. So what happened was I used to be in the cosmetic industry. I was a makeup artist and executive. I was in the garment industry. In New York, they call it the schmata business. And I was working at a private label company. And then I got pregnant. And I decided to try something on my own. So I became a makeup artist, for people in their homes and stuff. And then one day a friend dragged me to see an image consultant, which is something I never heard of, which is technically what I am. And it was like a special bring a friend. And I learned what colors were right for me, what style clothing was right for me, like what necklines were right. All these little things I never thought about. It was never on my radar, but explained all the reasons why I had clothes in my closet and nothing to wear, because I had mostly everything that was wrong for me. Like I wasn't a palm trees and flamingo print person, but my girlfriend kept telling me I had to have palm trees and flamingos. So I kept buying them because I listened to her, not to me and not to what I learned. And then when I got my consultation with this consultant, I just tore through my closet and only kept what worked for me, and I knew why, and I only bought what worked for me, and I knew why, and it just changed everything. And then a few years later, the same woman who had seen me around town noticed that I was following, I kept on following her tips, and then she and I started collaborating, and then eventually asked me to run her business, and that's when I went, wait a minute, if I can run her business, wow, I have a business. What am I doing here? I want to be my own boss, right? And that's really how it all started. And I decided to go to FIT, which is a big fashion school in New York City, and I decided to become certified image consultant. So I invested in the education because the more that I know, the more I can share.
Awesome, awesome. I love that story and how it just shifted for you, right? You one day someone comes into your life and shakes things up and is like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing it that way? Is that what you really want? Is that how you really want to look?" And it changes things, which led to your current business. And I know you've been in business and on your own for many years, and being able to use what you've learned to help grow your businesses over the years and help you be successful is awesome. So I want to hear some juicy stuff. What are some of the common complaints that you get that people share with you when you first start working with them, or the people that they're like, okay, something's got to shift? What are some of those complaints that you hear most?
Well, first of all, everything I'm going to tell you, each woman thinks she's the only one that has the problem. So I tell every single woman that I speak to who shares her issue that she's normal, and that she's not alone and she's not unique in this. So because when you think you're the only one with a problem, it makes it heavier on you, and harder to deal with. So a lot of women tell me that they want to lose some weight and they do not want to buy new clothes or change from the same two outfits they always wear because they want to fit back in those clothes that are still in their closet because one day they spend a lot of money on them one day. And I have to share that if keeping something in your closet that is way too small for you was really a true incentive and worked, we would all be size 4s.
Yeah.
All of us, so it's not really true. So the first hurdle that a woman has to get over is to stop wanting, wishing, or dieting, going back and forth in weight for what she was, but focus on what you have now. Because whether you are a size 6 or a size 16 or in a size 26 or 22, if you don't know what works for you, it doesn't matter what size you are. So it's not true that you have to be thin to look great in clothes. There are many women who are thin but are wearing the wrong colors and styles for them. So they just are spending money and they're thin. It's lovely, but they're not looking as great as they can look. So the first thing is to get over the whole thing about the weight, and also to not have that time from where you are now to where you want to be, to not feel good about yourself. So it's really important to dress in a way with accessories and a few good pieces so that you can feel great while you're on a weight loss journey. Because I have a client, I worked with her virtually right around December, and she emailed me the other day, she's lost 23 pounds since she worked with me. So, the idea was that she had been struggling for year after year after year, but until she saw herself in clothes and outfits that she looked good in, it changed how it gave her an incentive because she saw, I can look good. I can. And a lot of women will lose weight actually after they start dressing better, and making themselves feel better. So that's one. The other one is that women make the assumption, well, in order for me to look good, I have to spend a lot of money, and I'm not going to buy like labels, and I don't care about designers. And you know what? I don't either. I hate trends. I hate fancy labels. I think it's a status, not a style thing. And it doesn't have to cost a lot. When you know what works for you, you can apply those principles in Kohl's, at a consignment shop. You can apply those goals at a department store or like a Target. It doesn't. The principles don't change. If there's a certain shoulder detail that's right for you, it doesn't matter whether it's a top that's $10 or a top that's $100. If it's buying more expensive doesn't mean it's better for you. It's just an expensive mistake unless you buy what works for you.
Right. No, I love that. And I think, and also I used to, kind of the opposite's true, right? A lot of times, like I would just buy things because they fit. They didn't fit great, but they just fit and they were on clearance and they were cheap. And so I was like, well, that's just one more thing to add to my wardrobe. And so you buy things that don't necessarily, accentuate your body and things because either you find them on sale and you're like, oh, it's a good deal. Or you go to the other extreme and you think you have to buy all the fashion things just because they have a name brand. And so I think there's that, even ground that you can come to and understanding. But I think I love what you said about, it is so important to understand what makes you look good, because I can see how you have helped people shift that confidence level as well when they start to see that, when they start to see, oh my goodness, I look good even the size I am.
Right.
And without losing the pounds, and I can accentuate. And then they start thinking, well, their confidence starts to build in themselves, which is probably that catapult, which has helped them to also then lose the weight.
Well, that's the big word, confidence. So that's what everybody will always say to me, that they have more confidence afterwards. So the way you dress is going to reflect how you feel, and it's going to reflect how good you are at what you do. Yes. Or how successful you are, or how successful you're planning to be. So I've had clients who've hired me because they were very successful business coaches, but they realized that the way they were dressing didn't make them look like they were successful coaches. Yeah. So, if you have a career where you are looking to grow, which we all should be doing really, and you want people to see you as somebody who is not only confident, but looks put together. So not just a t-shirt and a cardigan, but a necklace or a scarf, because everything shows attention to detail. And
Mhm.
when you show that you pay attention to the details about you, it automatically sends the message that you're going to pay attention to the details about their business. And then you'll be seen more as an expert. It's really, really important that you don't just throw something on for the sake of putting it on, but that everything has a whole connection, a whole look to it, because then you will be giving the impression that you're the one. You're the one, and you will stand out on the Zoom meeting from all those little squares. You will stand out, and when you go back on, with shoes into a room, you will stand out. And that's really important to me, that my clients do not disappear into the Zoom room or into a real room, but they do stand out. And I just want to touch, you mentioned, I always share tips about shopping when I, not always, but when I do a presentation about shopping. And you mentioned something that's really important. And I always say, don't buy based on the size. So if somebody, let's say, is a 10 and they go in the store and the 10 doesn't fit, a lot of times a woman will leave. And I encourage you to try on the next size up. And maybe it fits beautifully. And if it fits beautifully, you're going to look thinner and you're going to look better than squeezing into a size that's just a little bit too small. So don't not wear something, don't try something in a bigger size just because you can't handle it, because nobody sees the label on your clothes.
Yes.
Right. And the thing about the fit is that a lot of women, when they find something that fits them, they get caught up, exactly like you said, they get caught up in well, thank God it fits, as opposed to seeing, but how does it make me look?
Yeah.
Is it flattering, or is it just like an oversized garment, which is actually going to make a person look bigger? And my other tip about shopping is, when you buy something and it finally fits, don't buy it in every color, because you're just going to have a lot of the same thing.
Yeah.
End up not being happy with it anyway. So it's important not to do the multiples thing too.
So don't do the multiples, even if you love it. So if you love it, still don't do it. If
you love it and it's something like a pair of pants, and you can get them, let's say, in white for summer, or a denim, or dark, a navy, or I would prefer black, really, because a navy and gray and tan, you can look like a postal worker sometimes. Not the greatest clothes, but but the tops, if it's a great top, I'm trying not to sneeze, sorry. If it's a great top, I say no, don't get it in every color. No, because then you're just going to look like you have a store in your closet, and you can't make a lot of outfits if everything is the same. Yeah, and one thing I've tried to do over the last few years is, so I found that I was, when I was working in corporate, I wore corporate-y clothes and suits and things, and they got to be a little plain. And so my clothes outside of work were also kind of just plain, in the sense that there was nothing unique about them. So one of the things I love to do too is always find pieces, like even if it's a black t-shirt, like there's got to be something unique about it. So I have a black t-shirt that has these little straps down the side, and so I'm always looking for, how can it be a little different without being completely out there and edgy, because that's not necessarily my style. But how do you, I'm always thinking about that, does it have something different on the sleeves that makes it look different or cool, or something to set it apart while it still looks good. And that depends, like you said, upon the person and the person's individual style. There are people out there who just want just a plain, as simple as it can be, because that's who they are. Right. Somebody else who wouldn't mind like a little animal print in the collar. It depends upon the person. And then in terms of the details, and I have to grab a tissue. Oh God, I'm so sorry. No worries. So spring. So then there are details a person can look for that's perfect for the person, but not for everybody. Right. So for some people, a detail such as like something on the collar, like a print or a button or a puff is perfect for a certain person's body shape. Yes. But it's not so great for somebody else. So it really, it's a very unique kind of thing. These little details make a huge difference in how a person looks. It can make a person look curvy. It can make a person look bigger. It can make a person look smaller. It can make some parts of the body look smaller. So it all depends. But for you, that's perfect to use that philosophy. And for somebody else, it might not be as
Right.
much. And I'm a huge, huge believer in using accessories to take that simple outfit and
Mhm.
turn it into a wow outfit. And
Yeah.
then you change the accessory and you have another wow outfit. And then you have another accessory and it's like, I'm just going to the supermarket outfit, you know? So
Absolutely, especially in this Zoom world where, I mean, you can just change out a necklace, a scarf, do something with an accessory that makes a huge difference and it makes it look like you're wearing something different.
right.
And so I'm a huge accessory fan. I'm obsessed with jewelry. Still not a big fan of scarves, although I'll wear them once in a while, but I don't know, something about being something on my
Not
neck just
everybody
drives me
likes that
crazy.
feeling of being swallowed up by fabric.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And so, but I love my jewelry and I love to wear different pieces and different things. And so that's one
And
of
it's
the things.
important because it's a finishing touch. It's really important. And then when I see some people who are doing, Zoom talks and stuff, and they're literally wearing a t-shirt with a cardigan over it that technically looks like you'd be sitting by the fire smoking a pipe. And that's not sending the message that you're going to help me make
Mhm.
money.
Yeah.
Well, if you're in business, you're there to help somebody improve their business. So you've got to be careful that you're not looking too casual and too like, I don't really care, And a necklace really makes a difference. It
Yes, it
really does,
does. It does, absolutely. And I know one of the things when I was, kind of leaving the corporate environment, I had a few people tell me, not to wear jackets, not to wear suits because you don't feel approachable when you're wearing those things. And so I still happen to like jackets. I had to pull out my, yellow spring jacket today because I was like, it's spring and I am feeling the sun coming out and it just, you know, fit with
Right.
my mood today. But one of the, so I've lightened up my jackets. Like, this isn't something I probably would have worn to the office because it's got a zipper and things like that. So, I also think what do you have to say about kind of fitting in with your audience? And what do you tell people around that?
Well, first of all, your jacket is not a corporate looking jacket. It's a cool jacket. It's fun and it shows your personality, and the color is great. So it's the people who are still trying to wear the jackets from the suit they wore 10, 15 years ago because they spent a lot of money for it and it was the uniform of the time. That's the jacket not to be wearing now.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. And I refer to jackets and other things that go over another top as toppers. So it's just another accessory, but not a suit anymore,
Yeah.
I think Simon's shop stopped taking suits a while ago. So that tells you right there that there's a little bit of a issue with that. They're not the right thing to
Yeah.
wear. It depends upon the career. So I do think it's important to fit in a sense, but to not be like everybody else, So if you are in a creative field, like I've had clients who are interior decorators,
Yeah.
brilliant interior decorators, and yet couldn't put an outfit together to save their life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you would think that would be like the easiest thing in the world for them, but it wasn't. So if you are going to present yourself as a creative person, you need to show creativity in what you wear. If you're going
Yes.
to show yourself as a person who'll help somebody make money, you need to look like you have money. And it doesn't matter, like I said before, where you buy the clothes, as long as they're the right clothes, it will look like you have money because you're put together well. If you are a nutritional person and you are coaching people on how to have a healthier lifestyle, you better be sure your clothes fit you well. Because
Yeah.
if they're too tight or too small, you're not sending the message of being healthy or fit.
Yes.
And is your question more related, like if you work for a law firm, should you dress like everybody else?
No, you answered it perfectly.
Okay.
I think you're so spot on in understanding, what people are looking at from you and understanding that, but also being true to who you are and being true to yourself. And it's like you said, don't try to fit in necessarily, but it's like that one level above at least, right? So having he always used to say, if you're walking into a room with a bunch of people, always dress one level above. And it's the same when you are the coach or the consultant that is walking into the room of your ideal clients. You've got to
Right.
be that one level above.
Right. And don't, when I work with somebody, I help them find out what the best colors are for them and all that, and all the other details, but don't put something on that literally is going to make you disappear. Like
Mhm.
a lot of women think, well, if I wear black, I'm going to look thinner. Well, not necessarily, because black can be a really tough color on some people. It can make them look ill, can make them have under eye circles, can make them look older, it can make them look, like they disappear. Now, do you really want, if you are looking to meet people, connect with people, have referrals, potential clients, the last thing you want to do is look like you want to disappear.
Yeah.
Because then if you want to disappear, well, then how are you going to treat your client? I mean, it just doesn't work. So if you are really into all black and it's a great color for you, then throw on a fantastic necklace that has a color in it, or a scarf if you're a scarf person, or some earrings, but
Yes.
add something that shows you a little different. And that it is nothing better than getting a compliment on what you're wearing as an icebreaker.
Mhm.
Because when you go into a meeting, it's sometimes you don't know anybody, and it's a great icebreaker. It's a great way to get to people to start talking, especially women. It's an easy subject as opposed
Yeah.
to what you do, and here's my business card.
Mhm. Yeah.
But anything that can make you look, that can make you stand out in a good way, so that the first impression is the right impression, is
Yes.
a really great way to have a successful career.
I agree. I love that. Love it. It's been so many great tips and tricks of things that people can do. So, Scarlett, I know you've got a special gift for our audience today as well. So, what do you have to share with them?
Well, the thing is, I've been working on this for a long time, thinking about it rather, and then COVID happened, and then and now it really seems appropriate. What it is, well, first of all, the average weight gain for men and women this year has been 29 pounds, which is kind of shocking. And I've always been giving tips on how to look thinner with your clothes, and so I created a tip sheet that gives you ways to use the clothes and accessories you have to make you look up to 10 pounds thinner. And it's at Scarlett Image, ScarlettImage.com/look thinner. And it's a great tool to know what to do with some sleeves and some tops and some accessories and some scarves if you wear them, so that you can hide any extra in the middle.
Love it. Love it. Love it. You
Okay.
guys got to go grab that for your ways to look thinner. If you have other questions for Scarlett, make sure you type them in the chat and we will be back answering those questions. If you have some with us live, be sure to type them in now. And so we can see, what are you guys struggling with the most when it comes to what you wear? Where do you find your biggest struggle? And then go grab Scarlett's link. We will put that in the comments below right after this live. So you will have it there for you so you can look thinner no matter how much you weigh. 29 pounds, that is so crazy that has been the average, because that means because we know people who haven't gained weight, right? I mean, there are those few people who are just like not gaining anything.
Yeah.
So that means, some people are gaining 30, 40, 50 pounds over
Right.
this last year with the pandemic. And you want to look good. You don't want to go back in as we start getting out and, spring is here, summer is coming. You want to get outside and look good in what you wear. So go grab her tips. Thank you, Scarlett.
Let me tell you, Tammy, there's some panic setting in,
Mhm.
because it's wonderful that people are beginning to go out again. And last spring, too, people started going out, eating more outside and stuff. But there's panic setting in because there are things called pants, and they have buttons and zippers. And not everybody has been wearing them for about a year. And now when they put them on, it's like, holy. So, and then and
Yes.
shoes. I've done some virtual workshops, styling workshops. And every time I've done a workshop throughout the years, number one question is, what shoes do you recommend that look good and don't hurt? And I realized that not any of my workshops this past 12 months has anybody asked me about shoes. Well, we have to start
Yeah.
wearing those again too more.
Oh,
So
we do. Yes.
be ready, be ahead of the game and be ready so that you are not, so that you don't turn down events and going places because you're just worried about what to put on, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Good point. We're getting out of the yoga pant phase and we got to get into some normal pants and
Zippers.
yes. Zippers, buttons. Who's been wearing those lately? It is time to get some that look good on you. So go grab Scarlett's freebie. And it was so great having you all here with us today, learning all these great tips and tricks to help you look better, feel better, improve your self-confidence so that you can do better in your business. I will see you next time on our weekly wisdom.